Ušteno zamemo, to što smo se matali je bio za manje. Sad bi mogu.
Tu smo obijeti od primjena.
Evo. Original.
Originale.
Hvala vam.
Krasno.
Da, za to bosko je originalka, taj bor.
Bez skrbi. Bomo mi tegali kupili, kupa sam.
4 eura 9 centov.
Koliko?
4 eura 9 centov.
Pa še ga dajte.
Za rezervu.
Rezervu.
Radi sam bio. Ja, to je.
Kdo si?
Pa bi morali podajati te mašine, da bi morali imeti 10 ljudi.
Bog ve, takole veliko je tisto, kar oni stojeci. A prima to tudi
ne,
tisto?
mislim da ne.
Makaj.
Recimo, da tole stele so pa dobre, ne, tele, sem tole recimo za to, ne, za drugo tisto. To je isto je to. To je isto, ima isto glavo. Samo še isto glavo. Ajde, živ. Ja, ide se že. Ja, to je 25 stela. Ja. Zdaj, ko bo prišel se tu, to povem, ne? A Marko bo prišel recimo v Hrvek? Ja, ko bo na glavo, ja.
Vi dame kad ga vrti znate.
Tako je zelo ja.
Ma on doma tu.
Mislim, da bi mogo danes ven.
Ima danes.
Mislim, da bi mogo.
Da bi mogo?
Ja.
Danes so se. Evo.
Normalno,
sta prijatla, ti bo naredil. Če nista prijatla,
niso verjatla.
te bo pa naznal.
In imam jaz tam
Je tako.
jaz nemam po kek dane tu hovor, tiskuj ti povedal.
Ta danes že fejst.
Ja, vse je fejst.
Možakar.
Vse je fejst. Vse je fejst.
Ma da je lep svet.
Je, da samo da tudi povedal. Da bo takole pa še železo, takole, ne bo se stolže.
Ja.
Da bo trgul. Kaj takole bo trgul. Tako da bo šlo, da ne mora eno tako gre, popolno in da bo trgano. Eno bo tako trgano. Jaz sem da je najbolj, da gremo pogledati žabi vas, če se da tam se
Veste kaj? Prav lepa, hvala. Prav lepa.
Hvala. Ker da ne bo prav.
Year 2006, it was already in 2005, but 2006, abductions were more and more overseas abductions, more and more went through Italy, Berlusconi. Italians in Miami became totally brazen. They would come in my face. Matteo Renzi had Theresa May with him in Miami. They had British, they had Germans. They would come straight in my face and threaten me with all kinds of stuff that would happen if I would not collaborate with Italians. For takeover of Slovenia, they come in my face, they threaten me. And in 2006, I know there already was a store back then, in 2006, a real Chinese store, right here in Miami. In Novo Mesto in Slovenia, in my hometown, from where Melania Trump is also. Already was here, this Chinese store. That was end of 2005, beginning of 2006. Gypsies bring me from the Italy, from the Rome, straight from Berlusconi. I assumed that they had done something to me that was related sexually. I have no idea what they have done to me. They have drugged me up, have done things. Maybe gypsies did. I have no idea what happened. But Berlusconi was the one who used gypsy network literally to have me transported to Slovenia. So there was a gypsy about as tall as I am, maybe even over 6, with black hair, for whom, by the way, local police undercover officer who have received me in the city of Novo Mesto have claimed that he is from Nova Gorica and so on, but I don't think he was. And even if he was, he had other gypsies with him. You're gonna hear them on the video right now. Because on that same day, on November the 21st, 2017, me and my dad went to this local store, first to the German Teddy. It's all made in China, and that German, we just, have this store here. And then from there, we went next door to this real Chinese store. I needed to buy myself an organizer to sort my computer equipment and all other equipment properly into my backpack, because as you see, I work downstairs now, not allowed to pull the cable inside of my room. Literally, I can't go and buy myself drills and so on. And so we go back. They bring me to the Novo Mesto and they get me. We did not even get into the store yet. Now, right from this location, I don't know if it's 100 meters, I would say about 60 meters from there, there is a central police station for the Novo Mesto. So you have like police totally surveillance in that area. They know everything about it, okay? So you could not go and just play this and that. This individual was undercover police officer, but what they wanted me to do under MK Ultra, they wanted me to blame gypsies. They wanted me to say, gypsies this and that. Gypsies, talk about gypsies, and continue, you're going to hear my father, how dangerous gypsies are and this and that. Why? Why did they do this? Because so they can come literally walk inside in here and take you out. And I'm talking about the police, I'm not talking about the gypsies. Gypsies are not as dangerous at all. Gypsies are dangerous, really dangerous. You realize just how dangerous they are when they start to appear wherever the hell you go. And the one that knows where you go is the local police in Novo Mesto. Now that is something to fear about. That's when chief of the police station, present, current, and previous, or personal friends, very close friends with my father. Just as a personal friend who goes out on a hunting, on a joy with state prosecutor that have accused me of total nonsense things, crazy insanity things. According to him, I am totally mentally unstable, I am completely demented, I don't know nothing. Okay, and you see me actually talking to you in English, and I speak several other languages, and so, he accused me of things that, they are just beyond bizarre. I think that anybody else, I believe, under my circumstances, would psychologically just crash, could not do absolutely anything about it. Okay, so now they bring me from the Italy, and this police informant, this is the undercover police officer I'm talking about, absolutely. I'm drugged up. I am not like I used to be under MK Ultra. Now I have, there is additional factor that plays at that point important role in my state of mind. It could easily be that they have inserted some sort of drugs in me, Viagra or something like that. They did one time. They have done that to me in Miami, and I was not even drugged up. And that's another video I'm going to record about. Have to go with this one first, because they have done so many things. And so, I am totally confused with those drugs. I don't anymore know, my body, it's like totally destabilized. I am now attracted sexually to everything almost that works. Gypsy, the dude is ugly as hell. You know, he's joking with me. He's joking with me. You know, the person appears to be gay. I don't have nothing against them. It's a matter of choice. I hope so. In his case, and who knows? He jokes with me in front of the police informant. Gay, I'm all drugged up, all totally messed up. Asked me if I want to make up with him in front of the police officer. I actually remember this shit. I respond in front of this police officer, undercover officer, that I actually do want to make up with him. The police officer, this guy who was already involved in abductions before, transport, this guy, he's got another guy with him, also not a gypsy, also a police officer, and he says, fuck, he says, you know, Gypsy's laughing, this guy says, fuck, hey, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? And, you know, I realized, you know, I said, he is already now becoming homosexual. He's already now interested in you know, in males, in having sex with the males. No, I never had any tendencies, homosexual tendencies in my life. But it just shows that drugs they have used, this drugs would fuck your mind up to the point where, you know, you no longer would have, you know, you would have so much sexual energy inside of you that no longer you would even care whether, you know, male, female. You would just want to make up. This is how shitty this thing was. Then they got me inside of the Chinese store. They got me inside of the Chinese store, took me in the back of the store. The store at the time, I remember, it was a beginning. I don't know when the Chinese people officially they have opened this store, but I know that toward the end of the 2005, beginning of 2006, that's exactly what it was. And I remember they did not have so much, I remember the luggage, there was not so much luggage at all, because I had my own store in Miami, and also I was drugged up, you know, I still try to rationalize, you know, watch, see things, compare, judge, make an assessment of what am I dealing with here, where the hell am I, you know. To me, that store was not impressive at all, you know. I had luggage in my own store in Miami downtown, few things, you know, stuff like that you see in the U.S., you see all over the U.S., like small Chinese stores, like more like poor stores, like poorly supplied stores, I would say. Not a big thing at all. It's today that this is probably the best store in this city, and I'm actually really glad to have these people here in this town. They're very pleasant, very nice Chinese people. Okay, all right. So they take me behind the store, and they tell me what is going to happen, how the abduction is going to happen in the future under the MK Ultra, and they have associated exactly. So that means that they work exactly by the program which they have written how it's going to be, when, what event, this and that. So they totally follow this procedure. That's what the MK Ultra is. Yeah, so they present me totally with how it's going to be, suggest me even to not to go, if you're going to go behind, you know, they bring me behind the shelves and threaten me with all kinds of paranoia. They hyping me in that store, telling me the gypsies, this and that, is you're going to ride against Italians, this and that, against the Germans, you're going to disappear, we're here, this and that. Don't go behind, don't go in the back over there, this and that, because that's what we're just going to come and grab you, this and that. Well, you know, that's how that was, and they follow me out, and a police informant, the police officer, he tells me, if you are going to side if you're gonna write bad about us, if you're gonna side against us, if you're gonna witness against us, if you're gonna say anything against us, this and that, you're just gonna disappear. Okay? I'm gonna go with you when you're gonna come to the store with your father. We're gonna walk out in the back. It's gonna be gypsies. They're gonna be waiting for you. If you're gonna talk against us, this and that, I am gonna just pretend I don't see you at all. They're just gonna load you in the car and you're gonna disappear. You're going straight to Italy. And if you're gonna talk against us and this and that, he did not stop over there. If you're gonna talk against us and this and that, against the police, you know, master, I'm gonna effing put you inside of my own car and I'm gonna drive you to the border, to Italian border. I'm gonna throw you out through the border. This is the Novo Mesto police. This is what the chief police. This is what the Slovenian president Borut Pahor came up. This is a scum. I don't actually have words for it. Well, now you're about to see, actually witness here, in case you are if you understand Slovenian language, exactly what I have stated would happen. If you speak Roma language, you will be also capable to evaluate, because you're going to hear the words of this exact same individual. Now, I was also told that by the gypsy woman, female lady, you're gonna be so scared of us. My God, you're gonna be scared of us. You're gonna come. We're gonna stand over there, and you will not be. You know, you will just bend down. You know, if you look at us, it's going to be too late for you. This and that. All right, they did have a few of them, and you know, I'm just 6 tall, and I have something over 90 kilos. Did not exercise much at all. But I don't think that, not looking for any troubles, but you know, giving me some kind of hassle like this people that would try would be probably very bad for them, I would say. Something I don't think they would want to do. I do eventually pass them in the store. They go inside, the guy comes inside and he starts to F around over there loudly. Like in Italian, funny, the same guy, this gay, it appears to be a gay Roma gypsy guy, and he starts to like imitate like Slovenian, maybe Italian accent in a Slovenian individual. So, you know, so funny, gay. And he goes like, he said, he goes inside the store and says, we govorimo po slovensko, or something like that. Okie dokie. So I did go there. I did pass them. It was a single line over there, and I actually gave them even a chance. And I stopped there, right next to him, and he was all frozen. It was nothing like under MK Ultra, what they threatened they're gonna do. I wanted them to do something, but they didn't. They just shit in their pants. They got paralyzed. That lady that was standing over there, gypsy Roma lady. It was not me that looked down. She actually, with that stride, she just went down like this. She couldn't take it. It was too much, because I made, you know, in such a way, you know, I approached them and I, you know, exercised, you know, psychologically in a nice way. You know, I just showed them how much fear I really have. You know, it's reality. It is totally different from MK Ultra. It did not. This MK Ultra did not have any effect on me. I mean, bizarre. So, we do walk out of the store. There is this individual, this police officer, undercover, ununiformed police officer. We step out. We go behind a corner. The police officer goes in front of us. Gypsies are there, sitting. They step out of the car, and you know what? He salutes them. Hello, how are you? This and that. He sits in the car and he's gone. That's when my father starts with paranoia. My father loves to drive individual crazy with issues, with all kinds of paranoia, hyping, bullshit. How dangerous they are, these gypsies. My God, I got so scared. One of these days, my God, what's going to happen? They're going to get inside of the Chinese store, those ladies, this and that. Something is going to happen. They're going to see, you know how I'm so scared. They are so dangerous, this and that. It starts to... And yeah, it was behind the store that my father had parked the car exactly as they have said they would, and so on. And so it was all like with the idea that I'm going to go home and start, oh my God, gypsies follow me. It's gypsies following me. No, fuck no. It's the Slovenian police. It's this thugs, this criminals in blue uniforms that have performed all this shit. And they are the one collaborating with the gypsies and so on to, like I said, and not only with them, with anything that they can collaborate with to get me out of here. Okay? It doesn't have nothing to do with the gypsies. Gypsies are few, yeah, they are sometimes armed, they can be dangerous and so on. The bottom line is that we don't even live anywhere near, we live far away. I never had any problems really with the gypsies that I would know of. And so, you know, they do attack pensioners, they do assault people, don't get me wrong, but they don't know where you are, what the hell you're doing and so on, unless the police sends them. And police does not only sends them. I mean, police, novo mesto Slovenian, Borut Pahor, president of Slovenia, well, he actually used them as a transport mean between the Italy and Slovenia and shit like this. So please, if you understand Slovenian language, you're going to hear a hell of a lot of in respect to my father when he said he doesn't have a single enemy in this village and so on. Okay, imagine he treated me this way. What he thinks and treats other people as. Give me a break. Let's go to recording now.
Hvala lepo. Ni nas, tako naj se pamete. Drugi potem. Pa kaj neki po italijansko fantazirajo neki? Kdo? Neki, sem slišal po italijansko, neki je nekdo. Ja, prije, no. Tam se ga ne stile.
poveri zjabiaka. So kar nevarni polka malora.
Zelo nevarni so, ja.
Ja.
Ampak
Punce pa same not bojo jih enkrat tako pobrali mu vse in denar in čisto se boš videl. Ne bo dolgo.
In this portion of the video, you will hear me and my mom talk, and I was pretty, you know, you will not get my mom that's, you know, look, she was extremely dishonest about absolutely everything with local police, with the psychiatrists, and have taken side against me as severely as possible. She could really not damage me more than she did, and it's really it truly is regretful. I have another video, about 3-hour long documentary coming, which I'm going to dedicate to her. It's totally regretful that women whom I have defended, whose life I have defended from my father, and this was not on one occasion, this was on several occasions. As she defended my life when I was small, I later on defended her life from very same person, from mentally completely unstable individual, my father. You know, my father always claimed that, you know, he would not know where he placed things, and, you know, the next thing you see, it would be like he would go completely off his mind and would threaten to kill us, to, you know, that we have stolen him things, that we have hidden deliberately, that me and my mom have deliberately hidden him things. His comment previously that he doesn't even have a single enemy in the village. Well, I'm going to give a little reminder to the people here from the village, from the city. Father always claimed that they're fucking him, they're doing, you know, thanks to him. Claimed that they are deliberately damaging him everywhere, that's deliberately damaging him. In fact, his paranoia, his things that he have seen that do not exist, made him build fence around the house. You can go and see it. This is a fence that is almost, you know, like the one in a military camps. It's about 2 meters something high, with barbed wire on the top, so people could not run in case they would get in and his property and they would try to damage. They could not run from here. He also reserved the right to block people from accessing the river here. There's a law in Slovenia that also it got people, neighbors here, fishermen, excited because he dragged his fence in almost into the river inside. So whoever would pass would try to pass fishing, you know, from the shore. He could not pass through that through his fence, and would have to go, you know, inside the property and ask him for the permission, you know, to access the river and stuff like that. So of course nobody.
Let's go back to audio recording.
Anyways, my mom tries to bully me, challenge me, and I just don't respond. I don't go for it. She gets upset even more. Now she's suggesting me how one day I'm going to remember her, you know, how many bad things I have done to her, how sorry I am going to be, this and that, and you know, that I will remember this. And then I said, Mom, I said, what is it am I going to remember? I mean, and she doesn't know what to answer. She says, not bad things, only good things. And I said, what are the good things? She can't tell a single good thing. We go on with the talk, and you know, I remind her instead of who she sided with. I should say who she's siding with. I remind her because she claims how many bad things, how much evil I have done to her, but she can't say a single bad thing that I have done to her. And so I suggest her, I said, Mom, I said, you know, when reminded her of whom she is siding with, I said, Mom, you know, you're siding with an individual who placed knife under your throat. Remember when I said that I defended her? I did, and she defended me. My father threatened me many times with a gun. He pointed a two-barrel gun in my face. He threatened to kill me with a paddle. I had run one day right here past neighbors all the way to the forest, about 1.5 kilometers maybe to the forest, 1 kilometer I would say, in the middle of the winter without nothing, in a fleece, and it was really cold. I didn't even have fleece for life because he threatened he's going to strangle me. I used to go nights in the bed and did not know if I'm going to wake up alive in the morning, because you have no idea what this was about. Because when you have mentally unstable individual, because you have a psychotic, extremely violent individual, paranoid individual that see things that don't exist, you don't really know if you're going to wake up the next morning. But I did survive. He tried to even stick me on a hay forks. After I worked the whole day, I helped sorting out wood for the heating, for the house heating. I by mistake have thrown one of those, I don't know say how you say that in English, in Slovenian you say poleno, into like a little water fountain outside. It's not a water fountain, it's just a sink. And that thing just fell off because it was like ceramic, something like this, and you didn't even have to hit hard, it just fell off. And I did that by mistake. The next thing was I had to run literally for my life to escape. Look, I was watching him as a child placing knife like this under the throat to my mom. This is very, very traumatic stuff when you do the stuff like this. I watched him beat my sister. He was beating me every day. I mean, everything that they have done to him on the job, the neighbors, everybody did. In a little bit you're gonna hear my 80-year-old grandma, the mother from my mom, was an old, nasty, ugly hooker, whore. This was mom of 10 kids, that single mom that took care, brought up like 10 children as a single mom, took care of them, worked her ass on the fields as a, I'm not going to say as a slave, but in Slovenia we say chlapic. She did not even have her own, field, land. Very little she had, and so she had to go to other people to work so she could bring bread at home. They would not even give the money, they would give bread so the children could eat and stuff like this. She wasn't worth a shit. She lived children left. She lived over there alone on the village, and my father could not stand her because there was just an old lady. The old people to him were just nasty old motherfuckers, ugly. This is just the way it was. These were just, you know, the people whom he hated. They were ugly. The old people had troubles hearing, you know, to hear. And so what he would go is he would make fun of them, call them stupid in the face and stuff like that. You have not seen anything like this in the world yet. And this is exactly what I escaped from, you know, at age 23 to the US, unfortunately to the neo-Nazi state, United States of America. This is basically what I ran from because I knew that if I'm going to stay here, that this is going to end really, really bad. He did not stop with his violence. His violence went on. And as I grew up, I defended my mom. Literally, because he had a beautiful habit when we would eat lunch to just go off like for nothing. Like you would give him something like he wouldn't get the salt on the table, let's say, and he would just turn red, grab the knife, and start basically to life threaten and stuff like that. So I don't know about this guy not having a single enemy in this village or in this town, maybe, or something like that. Psychopath, severely mentally sick psychopath on whom me and my mom did not call police because, you know, my mom told me always, and she keeps telling me the same thing. It's going to be very difficult because we are financially unstable. We survive on a minimum pensions. And if the father goes away, and then it's going to be even more difficult. And as a child, she kept telling me not to call the police because this is your daddy, this and that. So I did not call the police. I had on him what I deeply regret. It was a tremendous mistake. But on the other hand, I might not even be talking to you right now, stuff I talk, because if he would go into jail, what do you know what would have happened once he would get out of it? I mean, you're talking about mentally sick individual who have guns, who have all his life guns, have threatened with the guns to the child and stuff like that. This was mine. He could go and just shoot my ass. I mean, just one day, just like this. So my life was like this.
When I grew up,
I defended her. I left at age 23, and I guess mom suggests me here that I betrayed her. Maybe this is what she thinks. But I did not betray my mom. I went to America with idea, seriously with idea, to build me a family and bring my mother over to the US. And my sister can tell you that. My idea was to get my mom to me to the US, away from here, where she could be with me. I did not manage to realize that, but I deeply regret that my mom have turned against me. She cannot state a single thing that I have done to her, because in my lifetime, all through all the stuff that she have done to me, I'm going to dedicate a 3-hour documentary, what she have had turned into after MK Ultra, once she met this neo-Nazis, Benjamin Netanyahu, what turned out of her, maybe, I don't know, maybe just as bad. The stuff that you're about to hear about her is equally almost disturbing. But again, despite everything that she have done to me, because she suggests that I call her a whore and this and that, and the police have written that on this so-called state persecutor, Boyan Albar, who, I'm going to play you a tape. He was literally teaching my father on how to abuse me under the MK Ultra. He was with him in the house, present during MK Ultras, have harassed me, tormented me, tortured me and father told him the stuff that he have done to me, to this state persecutor Boyan Albert. He studied the stuff, and what he have learned from its psychology itself, he created situations which he would father later on use to totally humiliate me, to totally treat me like shit, like a dirt, in post-MK Ultra period. I have also recorded that kind of stuff. You know, when 80-year-old father, you know, is pushing you, like pushing you physically, pushing you and stuff like this, you know, doing that kind of stuff, that's like freaking violent, especially because of his past. But at the same time, he's got like a hearing aid here, and this hearing aid here is connected through the Bluetooth to his phone straight to the police station, from whom he's taking the orders exactly on how to act. And they also record everything and so on. But anyhow, we're gonna talk about that stuff. We go back to mom. Mom says that I call her, you know, when I suggest her, you know, all this stuff, what he had done to her and how he called mom and all ugly whore and stuff like that. Funny, right? My father claims that he needs a hearing aid and this and that and all these illnesses and this and that, and how, you know, that's, but when he was treating old people like shit, literally. And when my mom suggests, you know, when I suggest this to my mom and mom suggests me, you called me also whore and things like that. You know, I tell her, Mom, I said, I've never touched you in my lifetime. She says, but you called me names and stuff like that. Said, you know, the stuff that you have done to me, you know, and the only thing that I did is that I called you with such name. You know, this is just really, really, I would say, commending for me. Like I said, I'm going to dedicate you, Mom, 3-hour documentary on the stuff you have done to me. You know, we're going to go from, you know, severe psychological harassments, threats that made me leave house on February the 14th, run for life and stuff like that, and all the way to crazy laughing when it was 31 degrees Celsius in my room, and with all the air conditioning money and everything, I was not allowed to even have the air conditioning in my room and stuff like this. It was 31 degrees Celsius when I came back from the Belarus, and she was laughing to me like mad, and million other things. Okay, so you know, commending of me to have performed the way I did. She's trying to bully. I tell her, Mom, sorry, I don't want to have any arguments. I'm just gonna go away, because if we're gonna start them, you already know it's just gonna, in Slovenian language, say stopnjevati. That means that it's gonna just increase itself, multiply itself. And so, you know, I was the one who was guilty of being violent. I was the one. Father actually placed me on, tied me up, with forced hospitalization. They tied me up and they took me tied up like this in a mental hospital. I was the one accused of being violent and things like that. So folks, I'm saying that if you have a father like this, don't hesitate to call police, or if you see somebody who's having domestic violence issues and stuff like this, just go ahead and call the police, so you're not going to have to deal with Joseph Fritzl. You don't want to get into that kind of stuff, okay? My mom, you know, I'm just regretful, but like I said, 3-hour documentary coming for her. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Zdaj si pa zelo agresivna do mene. Moram reči.
Sebastian,
Ja.
ti si lahko samo srečen, da imaš mene, ne zruška, ti ne rečem.
Aha.
Čeprav me najbolj na svetu sovražiš, ampak
Ne, niti ne.
ampak enkrat bo že redu, kdo,
Aha.
zakaj in in koga si rabo, in kdo ti je pomagal, in kdo bi ti pomagal.
Ja.
Takrat se boš spomnil.
Česa se bom pa spomnil?
Slabih stvari ne. Če boš ti kaj pošten, se boš samo dobrih.
Recimo česa pa?
Marsikaj.
Recimo februarja 14. ali morda kako smo v bolnico dal, nisem česa bi se spomnil.
Morda se boš spomnil, koliko rade se je
Morda
mama tam.
Morda bi se pa ti lahko spomnila.
Česa?
Morda bi se ti lahko spomnila, kako je fater s tabo delal.
Veš kaj
Kako je recimo fater s tvojo mamo delal.
Veš kaj Boštjan, nihče na svetu ni mene tako prizadel, kot si na ti.
Vem, da ne. Ampak
Nihče na svetu.
kriva za te stvari si pa sama.
Ne, tudi fater mi ni tu hudega naredil kot ti.
No, ampak še enkrat bom ponovil. Kriva za te stvari si pa sama.
Ne.
Čeprav eno stvar ti bom povedal,
Ne, nisem.
jaz tebi naredil nisem, tudi lasa ti nisem skrival.
Zelo.
Tudi lasa ti nisem skrival.
Največ hudega v življenju
On-
si naredil.
On ti je pa nož pod grlo dal.
Nič mi ni.
Nož
Nič v
pod
primerjavi.
grlo dal.
Edini
Tvojo
človek-
mamo, lastno mamo je klical stara kurba.
Kako si pa ti
Z njo
mene
je-
klical?
z njo je tako ravnal,
Kako si pa ti mene klical?
z njo je tako ravnal,
Zdaj, kako ti mene?
z njo staro
Ne
žensko,
pusti ti mojo mamo.
80 let staro žensko,
Zdaj, kako si, tudi jaz sem pa
je tako ravnal, kot da človek ni bila tvoja
Ja,
mama.
ja.
In kaj si ti naredila pol?
Kaj
Ti
pa je
si se
tako
proti
na-
meni obrnila.
Kaj pa jaz pa si naredil, ki ti mene spodbudnjene? Nič.
Draga moja
Ampak
mama,
tako je.
draga moja mama, take stvari, ko si ti mene naredila, in edina stvar od mene, da se sliša na nazaj v besede kurba,
Ničo, koliko slabih stvari.
enostavno povem, da ti bom povedal, je čudež. Kurb, povej mi eno stvar, kurb.
Koliko slabih stvari ti je
Koliko?
rekel
Rekel, kaj pa naredil?
in naredil.
Kaj?
Nihče me ni pustil na cedilu tako, kot si
Kaj? Kaj sem ti naredil?
naredil? Nihče.
Kaj sem ti naredil? Povej.
Največji
Pa daj
korak.
povej eno stvar, kaj sem ti naredil.
Sem ti že
Eno
povedal.
stvar povej, kaj sem ti naredil.
Tu me ni v življenju nihče prizadel kot ti.
Ne, v življenju si se ti največ prizadela sama, ker veš zakaj? Ker nisi poštena sama s sabo. In to je edina stvar, katero lahko razreš, si ti, noben drug.
Jaz sem
Sicer pa imaš tam pomoč, on ti jo bo dal, on te bo podprl, oni te bojo tam podprli, v tvoji morali, in jaz ti želim vse najboljše.
Ti meni
Kregat se mi pa ne da s sabo, ker imam druge bolj stvari pomembne za delo.
Prosim,
Prosim, če me lahko, neumen sem, vem. Prosim, če me lahko, svidenje. No, mislim, bilo je, veš kaj je bilo, ko se je ta pogovor začel, ne? Ne, meni paše, mislim, če mi hočeš še kaj povedati, povej. Ampak povej mi nekaj, veš kaj, mami, da se bo šla na kakšne take stvari, ki bojo, ki se mu gre slabna na slabše, da nima smisla. Zato se bom umaknil.
Niče treba ni problema.
Ja, kaj pa čem drugo?
Odmikanje, tiste se samo odmikanje nič. Od odmikanja nič.
I would love to say that this is the last portion of this video. It is. I got to finish this. I said 6 out of 6, 6-hour long documentary. In the last portion, it's only a formality to confirm. You're going to hear personally from my father that Boyan Albury, in fact, is his close friend. The two hunt together. But he's saying he doesn't know anything. Boyan Albury doesn't have anything to do with. Well, I got maybe, I don't know, 20, maybe more letters that I have received in my hands from the state of Slovenia where total insanity is written about me. I mean, I don't have the words to explain to you the stuff that this individual. I did post it, the blog, on the Blogger, and Blogger went ahead and they just deleted the whole thing. So, stuff that he have written to me that I am, how crazy, mentally disturbed that I am, threat to society, people that I kill people that I loved, that I adored, Anders Breivik. Such stuff that when I came to the hospital, when they hospitalized me to Ljubljana Polje, when there was a guy with me, when he started to read that letter, he almost went insane. I mean, he went like, was, you know, like semi-stable, was stable, but, you know, he asked me, why are you here? You know, I gave him a letter. He read that letter. You know what he said to me? He said, my God, you're never going to come out of here, man. He said, you're never going to come out of here. And you could see how his health was deteriorating. This is the shit that Bojan Alber, the state prosecutor, have done to me. On and on and on and on. And those are the letters that I used for the psychiatrist to bring me on the brink of death, no less than 3 times, tortured me, over-medicate me to the point that I was paralyzed, or I could not move the jaws. You have no idea what these people have done to me here. You have no idea what these people have done to me. And, you know, in continuation, you're going to hear my father, who claimed during the second hospitalization that he claimed this in front of me to psychiatrists in Ljubljana, and what should have been my attorney that state had given to me, but it was the attorney that had actually stated on the letter that there was no reason to hospitalize me just because I had told the psychiatrist who terrorized me ongoingly. Those are not sessions where you would go meet psychiatrists to check the status of your mental health, but it was just plain terror, threats, intimidations, to the point where you would start to shake like this because the psychiatrist would just mentally abuse you. And the state attorney that defended me, supposedly, actually attorney that state have assigned me, defense attorney, have stated basically the stuff that it doesn't matter how dangerous I am.
From KingArthur.com.
That it is no reason for me to place me in a hospital and stuff like this. It's crazy stuff. Obviously not defense attorney, but the one that stick knife in my back. Look, in front of him, in front of psychiatrists, that I was actually at nights on the computer talking with the Germans, that I was on the internet, I guess on a Skype, on I don't know, Google social whatever, with the German neo-Nazis. All nights I was talking to them, at nights that I was talking to them with neo-Nazis on my computer. That's what my father said, that's what he heard me saying at night, that he listened how I was on my computer. He didn't sleep. Obviously he listened to me, how I was on the computer with the German neo-Nazis, which for what, however, he knows all about, because it's exactly the type of people like myself that police is monitoring 24/7. It was according to my father, and this was also written on, psychiatrists also written that on the report, that father had noticed me being with the German neo-Nazis all nights long on the computer. I never was with anybody from Germany, with no German neo-Nazis. I never ever was on the phone, actually on the computer, communicating through the computer with anybody. And you can hear the father that he actually have never stated that. Don't worry, this is not only time that he, not only one time that he, it's not only once that he, it's not only one time, once that he rejects his previous statements, which were written on the report against me. I should say on the report against me. That's how they have rationalized second hospitalization. I have more of these recordings, but you know, it's the kind of stuff that was used to place me for the second time in mental hospital for another 7 months. So this is what my father have and much more produced for me. So concerning the circumstances, I think that I am outstanding son, an individual who was more tormented, tortured than anybody else in this world, and have in return given zero violence, exactly zero to what state of Slovenia and US government have anticipated I would. So concerning that, I'm very pleased with myself, I have to say. And don't miss the 3-hour documentary about my mama. Oh, and Bojan Albar, get ready for the court. This time you're gonna sit. I'm gonna be the state prosecutor, and you're gonna defend yourself. You're gonna sit on a defense bench this time.
Jaz vem, da je bilo. Norveška policija. Bojan Albar. Tvoj prijatelj. Bojan Albarček.
On je rod tu.
Ja.
Zato smo prijatelji.
Ki ima 37.700 članov in članic.
Pač,
Pa so z nami še
ga je zelo brigalo.
članice, teh pa je 806.
Ne bi rekel.
Ja, tak, škodljiv človek, škodljivce, baraba je.
To ni rekel.
Je.
Ni pošten človek.
Ni pošten, ne? Ni barabenje, ne?
Ki so realizirani.
Bomo zvedeli, vse to.
Ne, rekel si, da sem se jaz z Nemci pogovarjal po noč po računalniku.
To ni rekel.
Pred mano si povedal tudi psihiatrom v Sloveniji. V Ljubljani si povedal. Ja, pripeljal ste me v umobolnico in si šel in si rekel psihiatrom pred mano in oni so tudi napisali report, da sem jaz z Nemci, da sem se po noč pogovarjal po računalniku. Ok, oziroma bom popravil, da sem se z nemškimi nacisti pogovarjal po noč po računalniku. Bom popravil. Tako so oni napisali na poročilo. Hajno sem. Imam paranojo, ne?